Students, we will start with chapter 1 of standard 9, that is rational and irrational numbers. In this, only exercise 1C is there in your syllabus, and then locating, there is one type of sum. After 1C, I will do that. That is locating a point on the number line. So that I will do after I finish exercise 1C. So all the other exercises in front of that, all that is not there, and what is there is very simple. So you first understand that square root of every negative number is imaginary. Why? When you have root of minus 4, square root of minus 4, you can't say that minus 2 into minus 2 is minus 4 because it is plus 4. And plus 2 into plus 2 is also plus 4. So you can't say what is root of minus 4. So it is imaginary. And if you say that it is plus 2 into minus 2, then it is not the same number. Because on the number line, this side you have in between 0. On the right hand side you have all the positive numbers. You have 1, 2 is here, that is plus 2. And minus 2 is this side, on the other side. So they are not the same numbers. So you can't say that root of minus 4 is minus 2 into plus 2 because they are not the same numbers. When you get root, it has to be the same number which gives you that product. So it has to be either this, which it does not, or it has to be 2 into 2, which again it is not, because it is minus 4. So such numbers are called imaginary numbers, and a number which can be expressed as a by b, where a and b are both integers and b is not 0, is called a rational number. Any number, 2 by 7, 5 by 3, all that are rational numbers. For our syllabus, only exercise 1C is there, and to locate rational and irrational numbers on the number line. So that last part we will do after we finish exercise 1C. Now before you do exercise 1C, in order to understand what is the use of this rationalization, we will see a very simple example. We all know that root 3 is 1.732. So you know root 3's value is 1.732. So if you are asked to find 1 by root 3, so it will be 1 upon root 3's value, we substitute 1.732. So we can shift 3 decimals and put 3 zeros in the numerator. So it becomes 1000 upon 1732. So now we can do the division 1732 and 1000. So that's a long method. And it has been seen that many times when students do division, it is prone to mistakes. So you will get the answer even if you do this. But then when the numbers become more complex, this is a very simple number that is taken, then the division also becomes longer and you will waste a lot of time doing the division. Instead of doing division, there is a simple method known as rationalizing the denominator. Say for example, the same sum, 1 by root 3, what's the value? So instead of just doing this division, I am doing 1 by root 3, since the denominator is root 3, I will multiply and divide by the same number, that is root 3. So therefore, the numerator is root 3, and root 3 into root 3 becomes 3. Root 3 into root 3 is 3. Remember, root a into root a is a. So the number becomes root 3 upon 3. So now the denominator is not a root, it is a real number. So it is 1.732 upon 3. Now that division is very simple. You can directly do the division even orally. 0.5, 7, 7 and 3. That would be the answer for 1 by root 3. So by doing this rationalization, that is multiplying and dividing the given number with the same denominator, you have saved a lot of time and effort, and a division you have avoided by doing the rationalization. So this is known as rationalizing the denominator. Of course, when you do exercise 1C, we will see a number of examples in that. So this will become very simple. I will first explain this question number 14. See, 1 to 12 you can ignore it, you need not solve it because that is not there in the syllabus. Sometimes what happens is that some schools when it was earlier school exams, some schools do some exercise 1A and B. So that is why it is till now there in your book. But now since February exam is a board exam, all schools are mostly following what is there by the board. So question 1 to 12 need not be solved. It will not come in the board exam. So that won't be asked. Now question 13 I will do. But before doing question 13, we will see question 14, which is more practical and which will help you understand what is question 13 better. So you have been given a sum and you are asked to rationalize the denominator. Rationalize the denominator means denominator in the end should not have any square root symbol. So that should not be there in the denominator. A numerator can have. They have not asked you to get rid of the root in the full sum. They only asked you to rationalize the denominator. So in such a case, what you do is you multiply and divide this given number with the denominator but with the opposite sign. Why opposite sign? We will see. So that means you are going to multiply this number, multiply and divide it with root 3 plus 1 and root 3 plus 1. So the number actually, when you look at this, you will say that here a cancel ho jayega, yes, and that leaves with that. So we are keeping the sum same, but we are multiplying and dividing it with the same number so that the original sum is not lost, its meaning is not lost. And we are finding the answer without the denominator having a root 3 sign. So we have taken root 3 plus 1, root 3 plus 1 because the original number was root 3 minus 1. Why did we do this? Now the denominator is of the form a minus b, a plus b. So a squared minus b squared is a minus b, a plus b. So this can be written as root 3 the whole squared minus 1 the whole squared. So denominator will become root 3 the whole squared is 3 upon minus 1. So it becomes 3 minus 1. So now that is 2. So 2 is a rational number. So you have actually got rid of the root sign in the denominator. But now numerator, it's root 3 plus 1 into root 3 plus 1. So that is root 3 plus 1 the whole squared. So you can use the formula and do. Otherwise you could have multiplied root 3 with both these terms and 1 with both these terms, added it, you will get the same thing. So you know a plus b the whole squared is a squared, that is root 3 squared, plus b squared, that is 1 squared, plus 2 times a into b, root 3 into 1. So this gives you root 3 the whole squared is 3, 1 squared is 1, and 2 root 3 upon 2. So this becomes 4 plus 2 root 3 upon 2. So in the numerator 2 is common. See, you can't cut this 4 and 2. Huh? Remember, this is a common mistake that many people make. You never do this. And you don't say the answer is 3. It is 5 by 2, so the answer has to be 2.5. But I don't know when it comes to these places where there is some number here, why many students cut this 2 and 4. You can't do that. This is one full number, you have to take common out and then only you can cancel. I have taken 2 common out and written it as 2 plus root 3. So when I open the bracket, it is 4 plus 2 root 3. Only after taking the common factor out, I can cut it. I can't do this. This everyone in the class will tell that this is crazy. You can't do this. This is actually wrong. You have to write it as 5 by 2 and the answer is 2.5, not 3. But when it comes here, there are many people who do this, and even after telling you will do. I will definitely tell that at least 3-4 people will do that when it comes in the exam. So please remember this. When you have to cancel the 2, you can't cancel it directly with the numerators 4. You have to take the common term and then cancel it. So then your answer, what is left is 2 plus root 3. The denominator is 1. So even if you don't write the denominator, it's okay. So that means you have rationalized the denominator by multiplying and dividing it with the same denominator but opposite sign. So root has gone from the denominator. That is known as rationalizing the denominator. Now after you do this sum, question 13 becomes simple. You are asked what is the lowest rationalizing factor of 5 root 2. That means if the denominator is 5 root 2, how will you get rid of the root symbol in the denominator? So the lowest rationalizing factor is root 2. So multiply and divide by root 2 will mean it is root 2 upon 10. So 1.414 upon 10. So see, you are not asked to do all this. You are just asked what is the lowest rationalizing factor. So in this case, all this is just an explanation for you so that you understand what you are actually doing, what is the meaning of the question. All this which is marked in red in the box is not required to be shown. You can directly write this, root 2 is the lowest rationalizing factor. And in the board exam, they are not going to ask this. Question 13 they won't ask. But this is just the first questions in your chapter so that you understand the chapter better. What is the lowest rationalizing factor of 3 minus root 3? 3 minus root 7. Here obviously it has to be 3 plus root 7 because you know that if you multiply and divide with the same number but with opposite sign, then only you can rationalize the denominator. Similarly, third question they have asked, what is the lowest rationalizing factor of root 3 minus root 2? So it has got to be root 5 minus root 2, it will be root 5 plus root 2. Just the sign is different. Both were roots. Here there was only one root symbol. So rather than writing 5 root 2, it is better just multiply and divide by root 2. Your job is done. So now the denominator is 1. There is no root symbol in the denominator. So this is how you rationalize. Questions that are asked in the boards actually start from question 14. So we will continue, we will do the second sum of question 14. So just to make it very clear that what you are not supposed to do and what you should do where, I have written this note. 2a plus 4 upon 2. So I can't cut the 2 and 4 directly, or I can't cut this 2 and 2 directly. Either I have to split and write 2a upon 2 plus 4 upon 2, or easier, I take the 2 common, and after I take the 2 common, only then I can cut the 2 from the denominator, so you are left with a plus 2. This is because you have a plus. Same thing applies if you have a minus sign. Yes, was it multiplication sign? That means you are multiplying the entire thing. It is 8a upon 2, that is 4a. So there if it is a multiplication sign, you can do the cancellation directly. But if it's a plus or minus sign in between, you have to take the common term out. Here if you write the answer is 2a minus 2, that is wrong. You can't cut the 2 and the 4. Because you have to first take common term 2 out, write it as a minus 2 and then divide 2 and 2. So you will get it as a minus 2. This is the right thing, this is wrong. So please understand that and don't make that mistake. It is like in congruency, I was correcting the papers. If you have two different triangles, if you have two different right angle triangles, let's say this is a right angle triangle and this is 4, 3. So by Pythagoras theorem, you will know this is 5. And this angle is 90 degree. And this is another right angle triangle. In this it is 6, 8. This is 90 degree. And this is 10. There are some people who are telling that this side is opposite 90 degree, that side is opposite 90 degree, so it is equal. Hey, what logic is that? You have never been taught this. What sort of logic is being applied there? You have to have angles opposite, sides opposite, equal angles in one same triangle. Here there are two triangles. How can you say that this side AC opposite 90 degree and PR is also a side opposite 90 degree, so they are equal? That doesn't make any sense. So please understand and learn the concept properly. What is taught to you is that this, if you have a triangle, let's say XYZ, and let's say these two angles are 30 degree. So because this is one triangle and the same triangle, two angles are equal, so the sides opposite to those two angles are equal. So that way, In this chapter, this is the mistake. There, usually no one does this, but there is one or two students who have done this. So please understand that sides opposite equal angles have to be in the same triangle. Same way, if it is a plus or a minus sign, you have to take the common factor out and then cancel. If it is multiplication, you can directly multiply and divide. So that is not a problem. So this is wrong. Then again understand one thing, root a into root a is a. So root a into root b will be root of ab. For example, if you have root 3 into root 5, that is root of 15. So you can write it that way. Now in the next question, that is question 14, second part. First part we did. Root 3 minus root 2 upon root 3 plus root 2. So multiply and dividing the number by root 3, it should be minus root 2. Why? Because the denominator was root 3 plus root 2, so you have to multiply and divide with the same number but opposite sign. So you have done exactly this. You have done root 3 minus root 2 upon root 3 minus root 2. Why did you do this? Because the denominator will now be in the form is a plus b, a minus b, which is a squared, that is root 3 squared minus root 2 the whole squared. So numerator will be root 3 minus root 2 the whole squared. So a squared plus b squared minus, don't forget this term, 2ab. And denominator is 3 minus 2, that is 1. Root 3 squared is root 3. Root 3 squared is 3 and root 2 squared is 2. So 3 minus 2, 1. Numerator 3 plus 2 minus 2, using this logic, this is root 6. So 5 minus 2 root 6 upon 1. So you have rationalized the denominator. In the denominator there is nothing known as root there. No root term is there. So we go on to the third part. So now here 4 root 3 minus 4 root 7 minus 6 root 3 upon 4 root 3 plus 2 root 7. You have to rationalize the denominator, which means you have to multiply and divide by the same number but minus 2. So when you do that, the numerator is not exactly the same number. You can see there is difference. So you will have to multiply 4 root 7 with both the terms. In the start, go slow. Don't be in a hurry to just finish. So 4 root 7 with the entire thing minus the second term 6 root 3 with the entire thing. And denominator is 4 root 3 minus 2 root 7 into 4 root 3 plus 2 root 7. This is of the form a plus b, a minus b. So it is a squared minus b squared. So it is 4 root 3 the whole squared minus 2 root 7 the whole squared. So when you open this, first you have to multiply this with this. Then you have to multiply the same number with this. Same way in that bracket. So this becomes 16 root 7 into root 3 is root 21. So this multiplication is this number. Then 4 root 7 minus 2 root 7. So this multiplication will give you 8 root 7 into root 7 is 7. So it is 8 into 7. Then this term, when you multiply, it is 24. Root 3 into root 3 is 3. So 24 into 3 and minus sign. Minus of minus will become plus. That you have to take care first. This one thing goes wrong, the entire sum goes wrong. Then you won't be given marks. So this becomes plus 6 2s are 12. Root 3 into root 7 is root 21. And the denominator is 4 root 3 the whole squared. 4 squared is 16. Root 3 the whole squared is 3. 2 root 7 the whole squared. 2 squared is 4 and root 7 the whole squared is 7. So now here this becomes 16 root 21 minus 56 minus 72 plus 12 root 21, 48 minus 28. Now when you have such numbers, you have to group the numbers which are identical. For example, this and this you have to add separately, and this when you add, you can write it as 28 root 21. 16 plus 12 you can take separate outside and then take root 21 common out. So 16 plus 12 becomes 28. You need not show all that steps, you can directly write it as 28 root 21, and this when you add it becomes minus 128. Denominator is 20. So now numerator and denominator are both divisible by 4. So I take 4 common out. I did not cancel anything here until I took common out. After I take 4 common out, the first term will be 7 root 21 and the second term will be 32 and the denominator is 20. So 4 and 20 is 5 times. So 7 root 21 minus 32 and the denominator is 5. So that is how you solve the third part. Now question 15 is slightly different. You are given almost the same, but just you have to find a and b. Your right hand side is a plus b root 3 and left hand side is in this form. So first we have to rationalize by multiplying and dividing by 2 plus root 3. So I take only the LHS. I write the LHS and I rationalize the LHS separately. So it becomes 2 plus root 3 the whole squared and denominator a minus b, a plus b, a squared minus b squared. So this becomes 4 minus 3. So numerator, this instead of doing it this way, I can directly take 2 plus root 3 the whole squared, which is a squared, that is 2 squared, plus b squared, plus 2 times a into b. So this becomes 4 plus 3 and this becomes 4 root 3, denominator is 1. So 4 plus 3 I can add and write it as 7. 7 plus 4 root 3 upon 1, the denominator I can ignore because it is 1. So this means the LHS is 7 plus 4 root 3 instead of this. This number is as good as this number. Same thing it is. Only the thing, this is in unrationalized form. The denominator has a root. This is rationalized form. So now I can compare this with this. So I will say here the constant term is a is equal to 7. B root 3 and 4 root 3 I will have to compare. So therefore I write a is 7 and b root 3 is equal to say 4 root 3. So therefore root 3 will get cut. So b will be equal to 4. So you are getting a is 7 and b is 4. Now how do you compare? Some people find it difficult to compare also. So in that case you have to see which term is constant that doesn't have any root value. Those two numbers will be same. The one with the root here is root 3, 4 root 3. And here the number with the root 3 is b root 3. So you will compare apples with apples and oranges with oranges. You won't look at it and sit. You will say a is equal to 7 and b root 3 has to be equal to 4 root 3. So root 3 will get cut and what you are left with is b is equal to 4. So we do the next sum, which is also quite similar to this. This sort of sum is important. One sum of this may come in the next test. So now 15th sum also similar. 3 upon root 3 minus root 2. We multiply and divide by root 3 plus root 2. That is, we take the LHS separately, multiply and divide, so you get 3 root 3 plus 3 root 2 upon this becomes a minus b, a plus b, a squared minus b squared. So this is 3 minus 2, that is 1. So the denominator is 1, so I have not written it here. 3 root 3 plus 3 root 2, we compare with the RHS, that is a root 3 minus b root 2. Now here be careful, a root 3 is compared with 3 root 3. So root 3 and root 3 gets cancelled and a is 3. But when you write b, be careful, you are comparing 3 root 2 and minus b root 2. So root 2 will cancel, minus b is 3, so b will be minus 3 and not plus 3. So it is b is minus 3. Now same way you have to do the next sum, that is the third sum. 4 root 5 plus 3 root 2 upon 3 root 5 minus 2 root 2. So this is a bigger number, but it's fine. You multiply and divide by the same denominator but with the other side. So when you do that, here these terms are not the same, so we can't directly square something. Denominator is a minus b, a plus b, so it is a squared minus b squared. Now numerator, like we had done an earlier sum, 4 root 5 will be multiplied with both the terms. So 4 root 5 I have multiplied with 3 root 5 first, then 4 root 5 and 2 root 2 first plus sign. So 4 root 5 and 2 root 2. Then 3 root 2 has to be multiplied with both the terms. So 3 root 2 into 3 root 5 and again plus plus, so it's plus. So 3 root 2 into 2 root 2. So now denominator becomes 9 into 5. 3 squared is 9, root 5 the whole squared is 5, minus 2 squared is 4 and root 2 the whole squared is 2. So this is 12 into 5. 4 3s are 12, root 5 into root 5 is 5. This is 8 and this is root 10. That is 9 and that is root 10. This is 6 and root 2 into root 2 is 2. So this is 60 plus 12, so directly I have added it. 60 plus 12 is 72, and these two numbers with the root 10 I have added, it is root 17, it is 17, 8 plus 9 is 17 and root 10. Denominator is 45 minus 8, which is 37. So now here this number I have to compare with this. So first I split it reverse of LCM. So I write it as 72 by 37 plus 17 by 37 root 10. So had it been like this, we would have written it like this. But now we are splitting it because we need to compare a plus b root 10. So a will be this number and b root 10 will be 17 by 37 root 10. So root 10 will get cancelled. So b will be 17 by 37 and a is 72 by 37. So that's how you do these sums. These sums are important. One of sums like this are bound to come in the unit test. So here in question 16, you are just asked to simplify this. Simplify means when you see this sum, immediately you should know that the denominator should not have any root. Now see, this sum is very simple because this is 2 root 3 plus 1 and this is the same thing but minus sign. So therefore we need not really rationalize, we can just cross multiply, that is take the LCM. So when you do that, the denominator will become 2 root 3 plus 1 into 2 root 3 minus 1, which is a plus b, a minus b, which is a squared minus b squared. So therefore the denominator will not have any root term. So look at the denominator. If the denominator is exactly the same number with just a plus minus sign difference, do not do what we have done in sum 2 where it's a lengthy process, but of course there the denominators are not same, so you couldn't just cross multiply. Here since the denominator is same, just take the LCM by cross multiplying. So 22 into 2 root 3 minus 1 and 17 into 2 root 3 plus 1, and denominator is a root 3 the whole squared minus 1 the whole squared, a plus b, a minus b. So therefore when you open the bracket, it becomes 44 root 3 minus 22, 34 root 3 plus 17, this is 4, this is 2 root 3 the whole squared, so it is 4 into 3, 12, minus 1 the whole squared is 1. So now you have to pair and add the like terms. So this term you will pair with this. So it becomes 78 root 3. And these both terms you pair, it becomes minus 5. Denominator is 2 root 3 the whole squared. So that is 4 into 3, 12 minus 1. So 78 root 3 minus 5 upon 11. You can even write it as 78 root 3 upon 11 minus 5 by 11 or leave it here. Now, next question, you can't do what you did here. That is, you can't cross multiply because the first term has denominator 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3. The number is not the same here. Second term is 5 root 2 plus 2 root 3. So since the numbers are not the same, you will have to rationalize this separately like this and rationalize this term separately like this, solve it, then take the LCM and cross multiply. So you can cross multiply first itself, then the denominator will not become without root term. So first 18 upon 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3. So I multiply and divide by same number but with plus sign. So 18 into 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3. So first 18 is multiplied with the first term, then 18 is multiplied with the second term. So it becomes 54 root 2 and 36 root 3. Denominator is a squared minus b squared. So a squared is 9 into 2, 18, and b squared is 4 into 3, 12. So in the numerator, both the terms are multiplications of 6. So I can take 6 common out. The denominator is 18 minus 12, that is 6. After I take 6 common out, only I can cancel it. So 6 into 9 is 54 and 6 into 6 is 36. So inside the bracket you have 9 root 2 and 6 root 3. So this 6 and 6 gets cut. So you are left with 9 root 2 plus 6 root 3 upon 1. And there, same number, this is the second term, the same number with the plus sign. So same number I multiply and then divide, but with the other sign. So it was plus, so I take minus. So 5 root 2 minus 2 root 3, and denominator is 5 root 2 the whole squared minus 2 root 3 the whole squared. So numerator is 5 root 2 minus 2 root 3. This becomes 25 into 2, which is 50, and this becomes 4 into 3, which is 12. So it becomes 38. So 5 root 2 minus 2 root 3 upon 38. And here it was already 9 root 2 plus 6 root 3 upon 1. So now I have to take the LCM of this to simplify. Now you can see the denominator does not have any root. So even after taking the LCM, you will not be left with any root terms in the denominator. Here the question simplify means eliminate the roots from the denominator. So now I cross multiply 38 into 9 root 2 plus 6 root 3 and 1 into 5 root 2 minus 2 root 3, and the LCM is 38. So 38 into 9 is 342 root 2, and this 38 into 6 98 root 3 plus 5 root 2 minus 2 root 3 upon 38. Now here this is a 5 root 2 term, this is 342 root 2, so those two terms I have to add, it becomes 347 root 2. And these two terms are root 3 terms, so these two terms I pair and I add, so in fact it is minus, so it becomes 228 minus 2, 226 root 3. And the denominator is 38 common for both. So I split this. I write this separately, 347 upon 38 root 2, and that I write it as 226 upon 38 root 3. So now this both numbers go by 2. So 113 upon 19 root 3, and this number remains the same. So that is in the lowest possible form that I write. Do not leave your sum here and here, because you can see both are divisible by 2. So do not leave it here also. Simplify it and write it separately like this. And of course the base does not have any root term, so that is why it is simplified. We continue with the next one. Here the next sum, that is x is equal to 2 root 3 plus 2 root 2. You are asked to find 1 by x. So 1 by x you can't just leave it like this. You have to rationalize and find it in rationalized form. So don't just say that this is 1 by x and that's the answer. That is not the answer. This you have to rationalize and find it without any root in the denominator. So 1 upon 2 root 3 plus 2 root 2, multiply and divide by 2 root 3 minus 2 root 2. The same number but with opposite sign. So therefore, on simplifying, numerator is 2 root 3 minus 2 root 2. The denominator becomes 2 root 3 the whole squared minus 2 root 2 the whole squared. So this is 4 into 3, that is 12, and this is 4 into 2, which is 8. So 12 minus 8 is 4. Numerator, take root 2 common, so it becomes root 3 minus root 2. So then 2 goes. So 1 by x is 3 root 2 upon 2. This is the simplified form. This is how this number, when you are asked 1 by x, has to be written. Then second part of the same question is x plus 1 by x. So when you have x plus 1 by x, it will be this number x plus the simplified form of 1 by x. So now take the LCM. So when you take the LCM, 2 has to be multiplied with both these terms. So it becomes 4 root 3 plus 4 root 2 plus root 3 minus root 2 upon 2. So this is 5 root 3 and this will become 4 minus 1. So that is 3 root 2 upon 2. So this is the second answer. This is x plus 1 by x. And the last, they have asked you to square this. X plus 1 by x the whole squared. So the numerator squared, denominator squared becomes 4. Numerator squared is a plus b the whole squared. So it is a squared plus b squared plus 2ab. That should not be forgotten. So when you square it, you get 25 into 3, that is 75. This is 9 into 2, that is 18. And the last term will become 10 3s are 30 and root 6. So this both terms have to be added. So 93 plus 30 root 6 upon 4. So it is 93 by 4 separate now. 30 and 4 that can be divided, it will become 15 by 2. So your final answer is 93 by 4 plus 15 by 2 root 6. So that's how you will solve this sum. Mark it important because this sort of sum, they generally don't ask very lengthy sums, but in your school exam they could definitely ask in your terms. So now the 18th question is similar to what we did before. Compare and write what is A and B. So here we take the LHS separately and rationalize the denominator. So we multiply and divide by 7 plus 3 root 5. So this becomes 7 plus 3 root 5 the whole squared numerator. And denominator a minus b, a plus b, a squared minus b squared. So 7 squared 49, 3 squared is 9 and root 5 the whole squared is 5. So 49 minus 45 is 4. So this is 49 plus 9 into 5, 45 plus 2ab. So 2 into 7 into 3 root 5. So that becomes 42 root 5. So now here 49 plus 45 is 94 plus 42 root 5 upon 4. Numerator we take 2 common out. So it becomes 47 plus 21 root 5 upon 4. 2 and 4 in the denominator 2 remains. So 47 plus 21 root 5 by 2. So we can split it as 47 by 2 and 21 by 2 root 5. Now this term, which is the equation 1, we compare with a plus b root 5. So when you compare plus a plus b root 5, we get a as 47 by 2, which is 23.5, and b root 5 is equal to 21 by 2 root 5. So root 5 cancels and you are left with b is 21 by 2, which is 10.5. Now this sum, very simple. This is what I started off with to explain you what is actually rationalization. So here we multiply and divide by 2 minus root 3. So when you multiply and divide by 2 minus root 3, numerator is 2 minus root 3, denominator is a squared minus b squared, which becomes 4 minus 3, that is 1. So 2 minus root 3 is 2 minus root 3's value, root 5's value, and root 2's value you are supposed to know. For example, root 2 is 1.414. Root 3 is 1.732. Root 5 is 2.23. These values you are supposed to remember, at least for root 2, root 3 and root 5. So this you should know. So you have substituted root 3 is 1.732. So 2 minus 1.732 is 0.268. But the question says to find correct up to two significant digits. So this 268, because the third decimal is 8, more than 5. If it is 5 or more than 5, you will increase the second decimal place by 1. So the answer will be 0.27. So now 0.27 is correct up to two decimal places. You are told two significant figures. After the decimal, these were three significant figures. So I rounded off the second one. I made it 6 plus 1, 7, because the third number was 8. So it is 0.27. Remember the 1, if 0 before the decimal is not a significant figure. Had it been 1.27, then I would have taken it as 1.3. Because 1 before the decimal is significant. But 0 before the decimal is not considered as a significant figure. So we take the three places after the decimal and then round off the second place, and because it's a 0.27, rounded off to two decimal places is 0.27 itself. Note 0 before the decimal is not a significant digit. So two decimal places are written there. We continue with the next sum. So in the question number 19, the second part, again you are asked to simplify and find the answer correct up to two significant digits. So we rationalize the original number, we multiply and divide by 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3, the opposite side. So the numerator becomes 4 times 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3, and denominator is a squared minus b squared. So 3 root 2 the whole squared minus 2 root 3 the whole squared. So 4 into this number upon 9, 3 squared is 9 into 2, which is 18, and this is 4 into 3, which is 12. So 18 minus 12, which is 6. So 4, 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3 upon 6. So 4 and 6 becomes 2 and 3. So when you open the bracket, this becomes 6 root 2 plus 4 root 3 upon 3. Therefore root 2, I told you to know the values of root 2 and root 3. Root 2 is 1.414 and root 3 is 1.732. So these two values you are supposed to substitute, and then once we open the bracket, multiply and solve, you get 15.412 upon 3, which is 5.137. So now the question says two significant digits. Here it is not 0.137, it's 5 point. So we take the first two digits, 5.1. And 3 is less than 5, so we need not round off the first decimal. So if you are asked two significant digits, in this case, the two significant digits are 5 and 1. So the final answer is 5.1. Now the second question, it may look lengthy, but it's a second simple question, question 20. We have to prove that this LHS is equal to 1. So this part we rationalize separately, this part again separately, and this part again separately. So you get root 2 minus 1 upon 2 minus 1. A plus b, a minus b, a squared minus b squared. Root 3 minus 2 upon 3 minus 2. And then 2 minus root 3 upon 4 minus 3. So the base of all the terms is 1, and the numerator root 2 minus 1 plus root 3 minus root 2 plus 2 minus root 3. Since the LCM is 1, you can write the numerator terms together. Root 2 and minus root 2 gets cancelled. Root 3 and minus root 3 gets cancelled. You are left with 2 minus 1, which is 1. And that's the RHS. So that's the 20th question. Once this sort of a sum has been asked 2 years back, I think, in the Bombay Scottish term exam or in a unit test in Bombay Scottish, Otherwise, when you get such a sum, you just have to remember the method. But yes, it's a bit lengthy and involves some steps. So you have to practice such a sum 2-3 times to get it. 2 years back in a unit test or an atomic exam, this was asked in Bombay Scottish paper. So when you get these 3 terms in the denominator, take the 1 or the constant term separate and the root terms pair it together. So now when you pair the root terms together, after this you have to rationalize it. Rationalizing the denominator, so root 3 plus root 2 plus 1 upon root 3 plus root 2 plus 1. So the numerator becomes root 3 plus root 2 plus 1 and denominator becomes this squared minus this squared. So root 2 plus root 3 whole squared minus 1 squared. So a squared will be 3, b squared is 2 plus 2ab root 3 into root 2 minus 1. So this is 5 minus 1 which is 4 and this is 2 root 6. So 4 plus 2 root 6, again you have to rationalize the denominator. So second time you have to rationalize after you have done this, because this is not fully simplified, the denominator still has a root. So now you take 4 minus 2 root 6 upon 4 minus 2 root 6. Then each term, root 3 I will multiply with 4 and minus 2 root 6. Root 2 I will have to multiply with both the terms. And 1 I will have to multiply with both the terms. So there will be 6 terms in the numerator. 4 root 3 plus minus 2 root 3 into root 6. Root 3 into root 6 is root 18. Second is 4 root 2 minus 2 root 6 into root 2. Root 6 into root 2 is root 12. And the last one is 1 into this, both the terms, so 4 minus 2 root 6. Denominator becomes 16 minus 4 into 6. 4 into 6 is 24, so 16 minus 24 is minus 8. So now here root 18 you can write it as 9 into 2 and root 9 is 3, it came outside the root sign. Root 2 remains as it is, so you have to split the root 18 as 9 into 3. 9 into 2, 18 is 9 into 2. And now root 9 is 3 and root 2 remains as root 2. This is same, this again, 12 is 4 into 3. Now root of 4 is 2 and root 3 remains as it is. The last two terms are exactly as they are. So now here, this becomes minus 6 root 2 and this becomes minus 4 root 3. So now you have to pair the root 3 terms together so that both the terms are same with opposite sign, so this gets cancelled. Then it becomes 6 root 2 and 4 root 2. This is minus. So when you add this, it becomes minus 2 root 2. The 4 is as it is and the minus 2 root 6 is as it is upon minus 8. So take 2 common in the numerator, 2 minus root 2 minus, you are left with root 6 upon minus 6. So 2 and minus 8 gets cancelled, so minus 4 remains. But now I have brought the minus up, so I am changing the signs. Because this minus is there, I am changing the sign. I can write it as root 2 plus root 6 minus 2 upon, now instead of minus 4, it is plus 4. Because this minus has changed the sign of all those terms. So that's the final answer. There is a similar homework sum, identical to this. You have to look for question 15 in homework. When you do that, refer to this sum and do it. It's very identical to this sum. So we have 2 more sums now, we'll finish that. The last 2 sums, mark them very important. They are important because you are asked something very simple. You are asked to find what is x minus 1 by x the whole cube. X is given, so now we need to find 1 by x. So when we find 1 by x, don't leave it here. We need to rationalize it. When we rationalize it and simplify it, we get x. 1 by x is 1 plus root 2 upon minus 1. So this can be written as minus 1 minus root 2. Now you have to find x minus 1 by x. So I do equation 1 minus equation 2. So equation 1 minus equation 2 will be x minus 1 by x, 1 minus root 2 minus of this. So when you do minus of minus, it will become plus. So plus 1 plus root 2. So minus root 2 plus root 2 gets cancelled. You will get x minus 1 by x is just 2. Then you are asked to cube it, and you are not asked to open the bracket and expand or anything. You are just asked to find what is x minus 1 by x, the whole cube. So that will be 2 cube, which is 8. So this sort of a sum is very important. Even the last one. You are given x, and finally you need to find x squared plus 1 by x squared. To get this, we will first find x plus 1 by x and then square it. So x is this, so we simplify and find 1 by x. Rationalizing the denominator, we get 5 plus 2 root 6 upon 5 squared minus 2 root 6 the whole squared. So 1 by x, 5 plus 2 root 6, 25 minus 24, which is 1. So 1 by x is 5 plus 2 root 6. And when you add equation 1 and 2, you will get x plus 1 by x. So when you add all the terms, this plus this, you get 2 minus 2 root 6 plus 2 root 6 will cancel. So it will become 10. So now we have to square it because you need x squared plus 1 by x squared. But when we square it, we also get 2. On the other side, it is 100. So we shift the 2 there, it will become 98. So your final answer, x squared plus 1 by x squared is 98. Now you can do some of the homework sums. I'll just mark which homework sums you can do. You can try from question 9 to question 15 on page 5 and 6. So homework will be page 5 and 6. Question 9 to question 15. Now this homework sums, you can do it before the Zoom session this week. So Bombay Scottish can do it before Wednesday. I will solve your doubts in the Zoom session, and some of the last 2-3 sums we will do it also together in the Zoom session. For Gopal Sharma, we will do it on Saturday in the Zoom session. So copy all this in your notebook, and then we will discuss the doubts in the Zoom session. Bye students.